Clara Cluck. Clara Cluck, that tuneful hen with a voice louder than any rooster, flapped around the farmyard with a sense of urgency. Her loud cackling roused the animals from their cozy slumbers, scattering sleepiness with the morning light. "We must learn some carols to sing to Grandma Duck for Christmas," she declared, her feathers puffing up with importance. "But really, Clara," yawned Clarabelle Cow, who was feeling especially cross at being dragged out of her warm byre on such a chilly morning. "You need not start singing, so early in the morning. Some of us prefer a peaceful start to the day." "I don't know," muttered Horace Horsecollar, scratching his mane thoughtfully. "It might be nice to surprise Grandma Duck with something special for Christmas." He nudged a few of the others, trying to convince them. Seeing the hesitation, Clara's tone shifted to her familiar bossy one. "Come on now, get in line, everyone. It'll be a surprise, and a lovely one at that." So, Clara made her orders clear. All the farmyard animals were to gather in front of the barn at midday, where she would teach them some heartwarming Christmas carols. The ducks were a bit restless since their pond had frozen solid, leaving them with no place to swim and only ice to waddle on. They were feeling a little bored, so they figured, why not go along to the barn? It would be something to do. The geese, on the other hand, had more serious worries. They had heard rumors of wicked poachers lurking about, trying to catch them for Christmas dinner. So, they agreed to come, but only because they felt safer near the barn, where Clara's leadership could shield them from any trouble. As for the cock and the other hens, well, they were used to following Clara's commands, whether they liked it or not. They agreed to join in, not wanting to cause any fuss. And of course, the sheep always did what everyone else did. It was just how they were. So, they bleated in agreement and shuffled over to the barn. But when Clara turned to the pigs, asking them to come along and sing, the response was not what she expected. "No," snorted the pigs in unison. "We're too busy sleeping after our breakfast." They grunted, rolling over in the soft straw and curling up into comfortable positions. Clara huffed in frustration, but she couldn't force them to join in. At midday, the barnyard was crowded with all the animals who had agreed to Clara's caroling lesson. They all gathered in front of the barn, ready to start singing. But just as Clara was about to begin, something unexpected happened. Horace Horsecollar suddenly stopped, his large ears flicking nervously. Look behind the barn," he stammered, his knees knocking together. It must be a dragon." His voice quivered with fear. "Ow!" wailed Clarabelle Cow, her large eyes widening in alarm. "A dragon? Here? Oh no." A cloud of smoke began to puff out from behind the barn, swirling and billowing in the cold winter air. Then came a deep, rumbling sound, almost like a growl. The animals froze, staring in terror. Could it really be a dragon? "Eek!" Clara Cluck squawked, flapping her wings frantically. "It's true. There's a great fire-breathing, roaring dragon ready to eat us all up." Without another word, Clara took to the sky, trailing feathers in her panic as she rushed to find Grandma Duck for help. Grandma Duck, however, did not seem as frightened as everyone else. When Clara found her, Grandma looked utterly unfazed. "A dragon?" she quacked. Well, I'm not afraid of any dragon. I'll show it who's boss." Without a second thought, she popped a coal scuttle upside down on her head for protection, grabbed her stiff broom with surprising vigor, and waddled off behind the barn at full speed. The animals waited in suspense. For a moment, there was an eerie hush across the farmyard, as everyone held their breath. Then they heard a cackling sound, a sound that was not at all what they expected from a fearsome dragon. Grandma Duck emerged from behind the barn, laughing so hard she could barely catch her breath. "Get on with you! Shoo! Shoo!" she hollered, waving her broom at something out of sight. "Ooh, how truly brave!" Clara Cluck gasped in awe. "To dare to talk to a dragon like that?" "Why don't you go and help Grandma, Horace?" asked Clarabelle Cow, puzzled by Clara's sudden admiration for Grandma Duck. "Humph!" Horace muttered, shaking his head. "Well, dragons always make me sneeze." He sniffed the air, scrunching up his nose. Just then, a few familiar figures trotted out from behind the barn. The pigs. They were snuffling along, looking completely unbothered by the commotion. "The porkers are your dragon." Grandma Duck chuckled. Her feathers ruffled from the excitement. They were snoozing after breakfast, and their deep snores sounded like a dragon's roar. "And the smoke you saw? It was just the steam from their breath in the cold air." The animals stared, wide-eyed, realizing they had all been tricked. "Dragons, my webbed foot!" Grandma cackled again, giving the pigs a gentle nudge. "More like a bunch of sleepy porkers. Look at them, nothing to be scared of." The farmyard animals stood there for a moment, their jaws hanging open in shock. Slowly, the realization dawned on them. "Of course, I knew it wasn't a dragon, really," sniffed Horace Horsecollar, trying to save face. "And so did I," Clarabelle Cow added quickly, her voice filled with relief. "We knew it wasn't a dragon." The ducks squawked in unison. "Bah! And so did we," bleated the sheep, all agreeing. Clara Cluck puffed out her chest, though her cheeks were slightly red with embarrassment. "Ooh, you naughty fibbers," she squawked, flapping her wings in frustration. "I shan't teach you any carols now." She turned on her heel, ready to march off in a huff. But before anyone could say anything, Grandma Duck chuckled warmly, her eyes twinkling with amusement. Now, Clara. It's Christmas. Let's not be so quick to get upset. Why don't we all head back to the barn and sing our carols together? I'm sure we can make it a Christmas to remember, even without any dragons." And, as it turned out, Grandma Duck's words worked magic. The animals all agreed, and they happily gathered to sing carols. Even the pigs, who had been so stubborn earlier, joined in. After all, they couldn't resist the spirit of Christmas for long. And as they sang, Clara Cluck, who had always loved a good song, found herself smiling, her heart warming at the sight of all her friends celebrating together.